Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 441. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rickshaw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey. How's it going?
Pretty good.
All right.
This week on the show, we'll be taking a look at Night's End, which is going to be dropping on Shudder this week. We'll also be going over someone watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. That would be very helpful. We're recording this on Sunday, so we do not know the results of the Oscars, but
yeah,
they're happening.
Correct. People are winning awards, and some people are losing them.
Yeah. Can you believe that such and such won? I swear to God, if Don't Look Up, if that wins anything, I will be mortified.
Yeah. The best part is I see it winning for editing, because when it comes to the Oscars, I think they just like movies where you're like, wow, this has been edited. You know, like the worse it is, like the more that you can see it's been edited by someone.
Right.
Maybe not a human being, but just that it's been cut in some way. And like the more cuts that it has, I think that's when Oscar voters are like, oh yeah, they put in a lot of work. Give them the Oscar.
Yeah. They
did it. But it also points out, it reminds me of something, is that last night I started Succession. Which I didn't realize was an Adam McKay thing.
It is, yeah. Well, sort of, yeah.
So I was a little leery going into it because it never grabbed me. It never captivated me in any way through all the clips and stuff that I've seen, because everyone seems to be obsessed with it. And then his name pops up in the opening credits, and I was just like, oh boy. Oh man. And then like the artistic choice throughout the first episode is just, let's try another zoom, and then zoom in a little bit more. And then that's like every scene. It's just the camera zooming a little bit, like every 3 seconds, and it's annoying as hell.
It's not the same as like a movie that's directed by him, though. Like,
well, I think he directed the first episode.
Yeah, he might have done like the first one or something, but I feel like the show has a very different aesthetic and vibe than his movies.
That's what I'm really hoping for, is that when it stops being him as the director, which I'm hoping happens. He can't direct all of them, right?
No, he doesn't direct all of them.
Good, because I would be oof.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into our review. We're talking about Night's End. This is directed by Jennifer Reeder. I have a synopsis here. An anxious shut-in moves into a haunted apartment, hiring a stranger to perform an exorcism, which quickly takes a horrific turn. I'll start things off with this one because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. This definitely feels like a pandemic movie. It was the whole, everybody's separated in this. So like you have the main actor played by Gino Walker, Ken Barber. So you have him in his apartment, his haunted apartment, and then you have everybody else separate. So all the interactions are done via video calls. Strangely, Michael Shannon is in this. I had no idea he was in this until he popped up in that first call, and I'm like, oh, that's odd. That's odd that Michael Shannon is in this.
The woman that plays Kelsey, Kate Arrington, they're a couple. They have kids together.
I wondered that.
And I think, they're both Chicago, and I think Jennifer Reeder is a Chicago based. And I think she's worked with Kate Arrington before. I think she was in Knives and Skin.
Got it.
I think this was because I thought the same thing too. I'm like, Michael Shannon.
I wonder. As soon as he popped up and was in that first scene, I wondered if it was something like that, like if that was really his.
Which it kind of makes sense if you're doing a pandemic shutdown movie, like you can call up Michael Shannon and be like, hey, you're at home. Do you mind doing like 30-minute Zoom call? We can bang out a couple scenes. All you have to do is be a little bit silly.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't explicitly say that this is during the pandemic or anything like that. Like the pandemic doesn't actually play a direct part in this movie. It The whole thing is like this guy went through what seems like some kind of messy divorce. He is a recovering alcoholic and he's got some kind of agoraphobia, it seems, because like there's scenes where like he doesn't even want to get close to his front door. So it seems like there's something like that going on. There was that movie, that Soderbergh movie that came out like just a few weeks ago that dealt with the same type of thing. Although that was like that actually had the pandemic in it.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't like this movie at all. I didn't see the point of it. Like the whole thing felt pointless to me. I was just constantly questioning what I was watching and why I was watching it. Like what is going to be the end result of this? I found the haunting aspect of it to be very dull and sparse. I found the lore behind like the apartment to be just super surface level and not very creative or interesting. I didn't like the Zoom conversations. I didn't think that they worked in this at all. And the thing that made everything a million times worse was the constant glitching that they put in this
yeah,
that bugged the shit out of me to no end because it was so egregious and they used it so much that it was incredibly grating. And then at one point, they introduce strobing into it. So you have glitching and strobing happening all at once. And on top of that, you have this like kind of droning, like screeching score. And this is a migraine movie. This is a migraine inducer. They should just call
yeah.
this movie the migraine inducer because it was just an onslaught to my senses, and I did not enjoy that. So that's all I have to say about it. Really, I don't really have anything else to add.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm with you. This seems to be a something that was born out of, a set, circumstances out of everyone's control, with the pandemic and everything. So it seems like Shudder was like, oh, we can't, movies aren't coming out. Maybe we can get somebody to do, pandemic set movie and we can throw it up on Shudder. And it seems like, maybe if they just would just wait it out until movies got back up and running, and then you could have done something actually worthwhile. So, like in terms of like what it's born out of, the circumstances that it's born out of, it's fine. Like it's not good, and I'm much like you, where I was just kind of like, I don't really understand the point of this. It just like that's the feeling that I get is that this is just a group of people trying to make something work, given the circumstances. And at the moment, and like if we were still stuck in like pandemic shutdown type situation, I'd be like, oh yeah, good job everybody. But coming out, years later after being lifted from that, and everyone's kind of like back to normal, commuting to
don't
work and
don't want to
stuff,
be
you just
reminded. We don't want to remember back to when we had to live inside those days.
yeah, it's just like okay, like you could have just waited a little bit and just made it like an actual movie.
Yeah, I
So
mean, like, it's just this is like a nothing burger of a movie to me. Like, I just didn't. There was nothing about it that I really enjoyed or really kind of gravitated towards. Like,
no, and yeah, there's a lot of filler of just like his anxiety, like him
mhm.
doing his uh,
I wish they would have.
standing upside down
Yeah, and
in
the
that little
counting,
contraption.
the
Yeah,
counting, and
we did
like,
that like 15 times, I think.
well, yeah, and then you have to show him mixing the Pepto with the coffee, and as the film progresses and he gets more paranoid and stressed out, the ratio of Pepto to coffee continues to change, and eventually he's just chugging the Pepto.
Yeah,
I want to see a
There's-
scene in this movie where he gets his order of like Pepto Bismol and like tomato soup and shit, and just is just him meticulously removing labels and then printing labels on an old school like clicky label maker and just doing that because that must take him like hours to do.
Very particular. Very particular.
What's the point of that that thing that flips you upside down? Is it like
I
to
don't
like
know.
stretch your back or something?
Maybe the back, maybe it helps with your circulation. Maybe it gets some extra blood flow to your brain. I don't know.
I mean, I've seen those a lot, and I just never really knew the purpose.
No, because it's an instant headache. That's
Yeah,
all I think. Like it just gives you a headache. Like,
much like
cool. Why?
much like the rest of this movie, it's all headache inducing.
Like,
That
why would you want a headache right off the bat?
that's why the poster is like the harsh like yellow back doorway with the shadowy figure inside the guy's head because it's like, hey, it's warning you, it's foreshadowing of what this movie is going to do to you if you're susceptible to headaches. It's going to give
Now,
you one.
the only thing that I kind of appreciated is that it is a bit silly at times, and it seems like that's what it's going for.
Yes.
It is trying to be like a little bit. I think if it would have leaned more into that,
Yeah.
I would have had a little bit more fun with it.
Yeah, I agree. There are some kind of silly moments, and not just the Michael Shannon stuff. Although he, he's good in this, but
Yeah, it's Michael Shannon.
there's some other kind of moments of kind of levity in here as well. And I think that's something that Jennifer Reeder does a good job with. I mean, if I remember correctly, Knives and Skin had some of that as well. Although I would say that for me, Knives and Skin was a much more polished
Yeah, well,
experience.
and I think that because I was initially excited, I was like, "Oh, a new Jennifer Reeder film like this is Michael Shannon's in it. All right, a horror movie. This should be interesting." But then when I saw that she didn't write it and that it was written by someone else, I was like, this seems. And then pretty early on, you're like, okay, this was just maybe something to do during the pandemic.
It seems like
Perhaps I
that,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think that like during the pandemic, a lot of filmmakers and just artists and creatives were like, hey, how can we use this to like kind of challenge our creativity and like help us push our craft and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, there were quite a few pandemic movies that came out that managed to be a lot better than this as far as like storytelling and everything else. Like Host comes to mind. A horror movie that's shot during lockdown, everybody's separated, and yet that movie very similar to this movie in a lot of ways. It's kind of a haunted house movie. It involves a ritual and some like demons coming around, and a lot of it is done through Zoom. But that movie manages to be a lot more rewarding and entertaining and just a lot deeper than this movie, which is just not. I just wasn't into any of it. I thought like visually it was very drab too. Like it was just
Yeah, I think
constantly dark. The apartment wasn't interesting.
that was the most disappointing aspect of this because usually with Jennifer Reeder, you have a very, you have interesting visuals.
Oh yeah, I mean looking at
You have a style
oh
usually
yeah.
to her films, and this just like if I didn't know that she directed this, I would never in a million years guess
No,
that she directed
same.
this.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Because there really isn't any kind of style. I mean, the guy's into taxidermy and plants, which is, I guess, kind of unique, but like his apartment sucks, and we have to spend an hour and a half in it. So,
Yeah.
and he has all the windows taped up, so there's no light. It's all like the whole movie's pretty dark. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I did not enjoy myself unfortunately with this one. This is one that I will likely forget that I watched within a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I will just kind of forget that this exists.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it was an experiment, if they were just trying to see what they could do during a pandemic, then that's fine. But
Yeah.
like as far as a movie that you should watch, like no. No. This weekend there's a lot of movies that are coming out on VOD and on streaming platforms. This would be pretty low on the list. There's like a number of notable releases this week, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say just we can skip this. All right, Kevin, what are you going to give this one out of 10?
Mm. Like a 1.
Yeah.
Think.
It's going to get a 1 for me too, unfortunately. It was just nothing. There was nothing here. It felt like, I mean, I've seen like creepypasta videos on YouTube that were more entertaining than this.
Yeah, I
And
think.
that's, that's saying something.
Yeah, I wanted some more of something, either more leaning into camp. So I had something.
And the payoff is not very good either. Like the effects work that they employ at the end is not good, and
No.
it's just it's unfortunate. I still like Jennifer Reeder. I'm still gonna see whatever she works on next, but yeah, I think that this is a bit of a blemish in her filmography. Oh well. All right, let's move on and talk about some of what we've been watching. The first one that I will mention is Jackass Forever. Finally got to see this.
Oh.
Yeah. I expected to enjoy it. I was excited for this, and I wasn't let down. I think it was probably my favorite of the Jackass movies. It was probably my favorite Jackass thing maybe since the show. If you liked Jackass as a kid, if you were into it at some point, I think that you will enjoy yourself with this one. It's hilarious. Every one of the stunts, every segment made me laugh. Every single one. And I watched this by myself too. So, when you watch a comedy by yourself, you're less prone to like laughing, I think. And this still made me laugh out loud. I thought it was extremely funny. A lot of really good stunts. I don't really want to spoil anything. A lot of the stunts that I don't like any kind of vomiting. Like vomiting is like a complete no-go for me. And that's one of the reasons I didn't see this in theaters, because I was afraid that there was going to be like a lot of vomiting and I would not be into that. So that's one of the reasons I waited. There's like one segment that involves vomiting, but it's pretty short, thankfully, and I was able to just skip, and it was over. So
Nice.
this one is definitely less gross, I would say, than some of the others, but still pretty outrageous. And some of the stunts, like they seem to use like more animals in this one. There's some really crazy shit that they do. And there's this weird like wholesomeness about it this time around. And I don't know what it is, but I really enjoyed it. Spike Jonze did the intro, and he's in it several times. The intro is really funny. It's really good. Yeah, I don't know. I would recommend it. It's on Paramount Plus if you want to stream it. It's coming out. It's dropping on Blu-ray, I think, this week. And then in April, I believe, it's going to be on Netflix, and they're going to be adding a whole shitload of additional footage on the Netflix release. It's going to be like I think they said like an hour of additional footage, because they apparently shot like tons of stunts and stuff that just didn't make it in.
probably like 200% more vomiting.
That would suck. I don't think so though. I really don't think so. I don't think that
Just,
they didn't I don't think they leaned very heavily into the
I'm
vomiting
just
this time
imagining
around.
Adam going up, getting himself some McDonald's, sitting down. He's all ready. He's got did his fucking ketchup packets. He's ready to go. Pops it on. Vomit. Just an onslaught of vomit.
Just nonstop vomiting. I don't like stunts involving vomit. Never did. Which is funny because I always liked, those skate videos, like the CKY videos, the Big Brother videos, all that stuff. Remember how like we were so into the CKY videos back in the
Oh
day?
yeah, yeah. I
And
think
yeah, anytime they would have vomiting, I would just hated it.
no, vomiting's a no go for me too.
Which is weird because I can deal with shit. Like I can deal with shitting, but for
No,
some reason,
that's a
I mean,
no
I'd
go.
rather not. To be clear, I'd rather not deal with shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. Vomiting is just yeah. Anyway, I would definitely recommend Jackass Forever.
Wow, how do you follow up Jackass Forever? Well, it's probably not.
Can't.
Well, I don't know if these two films have probably never been discussed together, and I don't know if they ever will be moving forward. But the movie that I saw is 1954's Crime Wave,
Mm.
directed by Andrei Titov, Hungarian director. This is a little film noir starring Sterling Hayden as a police officer, and this is fucking good. Oh my goodness. I just threw this on because I was like really in the mood for, a 50s noir movie. It's only 74 minutes long. It's on the Criterion channel. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? This should be, should at least be entertaining. Most noir films are, right? Even the ones that are kind of not that great. And man, I was not expecting this to be as fucking good as it is. It's originally called The City is Dark. So, as you can imagine, it's black and white noir, taking place mostly at night, and it's shot in and around Los Angeles, and man, is it beautiful. I mean, the black and white cinematography here is just gorgeous. And it also stars a guy that looks really fucking weird. And this weird looking guy turns out to be Charles Bronson.
Nice.
Fucking Charles Bronson. This is before he was even called Charles Bronson.
Wow.
Charles Baczynski, playing a guy named Ben Hastings. So the three guys break out of San Quentin, right? They're knocking out over at gas stations, all sorts of like little places off the highway, mostly just to get money that they can get to the next place. Just small time stuff. And the movie's all about ex-cons and the difficult life that they have after prison. So the guy Steve Lacy, played by Gene Nelson, he's kind of like the central figure. He's out of San Quentin, and he's since married. He's got a good job. He's staying out of trouble. He's doing everything that he needs to do, right? But anytime ex-cons come through the neighborhood, they usually try and hit him up, to try and get him in on, a new job, or can you help us out, something like that. And that's what ends up happening here. These three guys try to knock over a gas station. One of the guys gets shot. They go to Steve Lacy for help. He doesn't want to fucking help them. He's like, just leave me alone. Well, now the cops are in on it too. They want him to help. So they start putting a squeeze on him, saying, you got to get out on the street, start getting some information, got to be a stool pigeon. And of course, he's like, man, if I do that, I'm going to have to do that for the rest of my life. So he's getting it from both sides. Like, people just won't leave him the fuck alone. And it's just a really interesting dynamic of how that plays out. Of like ex-cons having to deal with other ex-cons, but also dealing with the police at the same time. And both of them essentially want him to be a criminal. They don't want anything else for him. They just want him to be a criminal. Both sides. And it gets a little more interesting because there's another guy that's like an immigrant, right? Which I'm not 100% sure if Detoth was going for this. I'm pretty sure he was, him being a Hungarian guy. the cops go to the one immigrant. He's like, "Hey, go over and try and get some information. Since Lacey won't help out, you do it." They don't follow him. They just wait back at the station, and they're like, "Oh, hopefully he'll call us back." Well, of course he fucking dies. Like, what the fuck? And then at the end, he's helping out. And the Sterling Hayden goes into this bullshit thing. He's like, "We're the police. We help our citizens," which was like, it seemed like a kind of a dig where, like, they consider them citizens, like actual Americans, where this Hessler guy, the immigrant that they got to help out, they don't really consider him a citizen. So they didn't really help him. They were just like, huh, if he dies, he dies. But I highly recommend it. It's fucking good.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Crime Wave.
Crime Wave.
Let's see. I saw Windfall. This is on Netflix. This is directed by Charlie McDowell. This is the guy who did The One I Love, which I thought was pretty. That was an interesting one.
That's the one with Clemens and Jason Segel.
Yep, Lily Collins. Yeah, so the premise here is that Jason Segel breaks into this billionaire's like vacation home, and he thinks that they're gone. He won't be there. I can just take whatever I want and leave. But when he's about to leave, the billionaire and his wife come to the house, and he ends up having to kidnap them and kind of hold them for ransom. But truths come out. Lots of truths. Truths are being dropped here. Secrets, lies, deceit.
They're not good, are they? Are any of them good?
No. Oh, no. Nope.
I would like one time where a secret comes out, but it's good. It's a good thing. Whereas, like, I never told you this, but I won the Nobel Peace Prize. That's it.
Yeah. This is a pretty typical thriller. It's very Hitchcockian in its presentation, from the score to like kind of the visual style of it. And it kind of works. Like, it's okay, but this feels in a lot of ways like kind of a pandemic movie also, in that it takes place, it's a very small cast, takes place in a single location, and it's just a very self-contained kind of small scale story. But the problem is, like, the story's not that interesting. Like, it's nothing that we haven't seen before, and the characters are not really anything interesting either. I mean, Jesse Plemons plays this like tech billionaire who's kind of a douche, and Lily Collins plays this wife who's unfulfilled and is they're having issues, and like he cheated on her and stuff, and they're trying to work it out. And then Jason Segel plays this person that believes that he was wronged in some way. And it's just not, there's just really nothing new here. The end, like the finale, is a bit unexpected, I would say. They do some kind of, it is kind of a surprising ending. I didn't see it coming, that's for sure. But it's not really enough to make this like anything more than just like kind of an average thriller. It's not a comedy, to be clear. You might go into it thinking that it is, with Jason Segel involved, but it's not really a comedy. There's some dark humor in it, but I still wouldn't classify it as a comedy. So I don't know, maybe no, I wouldn't even get like, it's on Netflix, so put it on. If it grabs you, good. If not, whatever, turn it off.
There's also 90,000 things on Netflix.
Yeah,
that you could also watch.
You can watch.
They have a new Apatow coming.
Yeah, got a new Apatow coming.
Also, pandemic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got to do the fucking.
Yeah, the movies are finally catching up. Like these pandemic movies are coming out.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that kind of sucks about that. because
Because
all
we're
the
all
stuff
over it.
is
Like
yeah.
we're all over it. We don't want to be
I
reminded
mean,
of it.
yeah, and also like yeah, because it's like I've been going to work for like for me it was a very short period. Like I wasn't even like everyone else that got to have like I was still going to work and stuff. So it's like fuck, man. Glad you guys make a little movie. Still,
I'm still going to work every day, risking my life.
yeah, fucking same thing.
All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters. Morbius.
More. This looks fucking dumb as hell.
I agree. I like Morbius, the character, but nothing like all of the trailers and everything about this, like none of it is really doing it for me.
No, and I've seen this trailer. I don't know how many fucking times.
I bet this is
And
going to be a bomb. This is not
yeah,
this is not going to be good for
no,
anyone. I mean, I think it's cool that they're trying to like kind of expand the Spider Verse, if you will, like with the Venom movies and all that stuff. But yeah, this I don't know. This one
but
just I don't.
yeah, and but you also it's Jared Leto. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
do,
don't see
do,
him
do you
pull.
think? What do you think he was doing on set as Morbius? Do you think
Oh
he was?
God,
Can you?
he's it's
What
just,
do you? What do you think he was trying to come up with?
it probably involves blood. He's
He
probably
drank blood or like
he's probably drinking blood. He probably carried around blood, licking blood on people. Fuck knows with this guy. I just I don't see this doing well.
I don't either. I don't either. Just I don't see it. All right, VOD this week. Let's see. We have on the 29th, we have Schemers. We also have Follower. We got Nitram. That's going to be on AMC Plus. That's the one with Caleb Landry Jones.
It's the Justin Curcell movie.
I'm
New
very
one.
interested in this.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's gonna be rough.
it does. It does. We got Zero Fucks Given. That's going to be on Mubi. I'm also interested in that.
Zero fucks given.
Mm-hmm. It's a French. I don't know if it's a comedy, more like a dramedy, maybe. About a flight attendant. On the 31st, we have Kicking Blood. It's a vampire story. Kind of like a centuries old vampire who watches a man recover from alcoholism and she decides to stop drinking blood.
Hmm.
You know, because like vampirism is like alcoholism. It's kind of like, you know,
Oh yeah, it's kind of like addiction
yeah,
if you
it's
think about it.
if you think about it, it's kind of like addiction.
Yeah, and if you have your withdrawal symptoms, and if you've been doing it for so long and you go into withdrawal, you could actually die from it.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if Morbius is like that. If they're gonna if Morbius is an allegory for
Oh
addiction.
boy, he could very well be.
We also have Night's End coming out on the 1st. We got Let the Wrong One In. That is a horror comedy. We got Boone. Sounds like a crime thriller. We got Barbarians. It's a horror comedy. I think might just be horror, but I've seen Midnight's putting that one out. On Netflix this week, we have Apollo 10 and a half, A Space Age Childhood. What is this? Tells the story of the first
Wait, is
moon landing in the summer of 1969 from two interwoven perspectives: the astronaut and mission control view of the triumphant moment, and through the eyes of a kid growing up in Houston, Texas, who has intergalactic dreams of his own. Is this a Richard Linklater
Yeah, oh yeah. I remember that he does have one coming out soon.
Yeah, it says taking inspiration from Academy Award nominated filmmaker Richard Linklater's own life, Apollo 10 and a half, A Space Age Childhood is a snapshot of American life in the 1960s that is part coming of age, part social commentary, and part out of this world adventure. I bet this movie sounds like it could be good, but that title, like, instantly made me cringe.
Yeah. Yes.
But, I'd like Richard Linklater, so yeah, I guess I'll be giving that a look. We also have The Bubble coming out, and this is,
The Bubble.
yeah, The Bubble. Have you seen anything about this?
No.
It's a comedy about a group of actors who are quarantined in a pandemic bubble at a hotel, attempting to complete a sequel to an action franchise film about flying dinosaurs.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah, it's an Apatow.
So we got Netflix is gonna have Linklater and Apatow.
On the same
That's
day.
it.
Yeah, April 1st.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. We also have Battle Freestyle. So that's, I guess, about freestyle rapping.
Who
But
directed this one?
it was like, I don't know. I was trying to think of like some big name director, but really Battle Freestyle. I don't know.
Oh, it's a dance movie. Dance
Oh,
crew advances to the global finals.
Okay, freestyle dance, not freestyle
Yeah.
rapping. Okay, got it. We also have Celeb 5 Behind the Curtain.
What?
Celeb 5 is a Korean comedy troupe, and this is like some kind of mockumentary, I think,
Okay.
about them or something like that. I actually don't know too much about them. That's about it for VOD. On Blu-ray this week, we have The Apartment from 1960. That's coming out in 4K. Got Ordinary People from 1980. That's on that Paramount, whatever, signature series or something.
Yeah.
Got Drop Dead Fred getting a re-release. Talons of the Eagle from 1992. Looks like a very exciting early 90s action movie starring Billy Blanks. Is that the Tybo guy?
It's
Yeah, it's the Tybo guy.
interesting. Interesting. How about
Vinegar
that?
Syndrome's putting that out.
Okay.
Hard Rock Zombies and Slaughterhouse Rock. That's a double feature there.
Oh boy.
That's a limited edition. 5,000 of those in print. We got Reform School Girls from 1986. That's also coming out in a limited edition. Ballad of Blood from 2016. The Forbidden Door from 2009. Let's see. Scream Queen. My Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the documentary about Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Which is pretty good. We have Shakedown from 1950. Pathogen from 2006. That's Vinegar Syndrome AGFA collab. That's the Emily Haggins one. The zombie movie. She was like 12 when she made it or something like that.
Wow.
Tragedy Girls from 2017 getting some sort of Blu-ray release. I'd recommend that. That was awesome. Slash Dance from 1989.
Oh boy.
That's a Vinegar Syndrome. Never heard of that. Never heard of that, but I am all about it, especially that cover. Holy crap.
As a female cop goes undercover. Catch a
all.
serial killer.
Hell yeah. Backwoods Marcy from 1998, also Vinegar Syndrome. Sybil from 2019. Vinegar Syndrome on that too. No, it says it is Vinegar Syndrome, but it's a Music Box Selects. Not sure what that's all about. Marry Me, that's the one that came out earlier this year with Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez. Sister Sister from 1987. Oh my God, there's like a million this week. This is like a huge week. Dance Party USA from 2006. But that's pretty much it. What about Criterions this week?
Oh, we got two. First one is Scorsese's The Last Waltz, the concert doc of the band, their farewell performance at Winterland Ballroom. So you got that. Some consider that, one of the best concert films of all time. And then the other one, you have Theodore Witcher's Love Jones from 1997.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I forgot one. Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge from 1989.
Oh,
yeah? Yeah. Arrow's putting that out. A guy called Eric owns a huge house and some greedy people want to build a mall over it. So they get someone to burn down his house.
Wow.
And then I guess he doesn't die and he becomes the Phantom of the Mall. I need to see this. Holy crap. Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. That looks incredible. I hope that pops up on like Arrow or something. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet and @filmpulsekevin. And if you have a moment, consider reviewing us on iTunes. We'd appreciate that very much. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name is Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.